Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. I'm sorry, guys. I was having a funny moment before I click my video. It's Saturday night and it's raining, and it is just beautiful. I do not know why Jamaicans do not like when it rains because you're at peace. If it's at night, you get a more comfortable and peaceful night rest. And if you're at work, you concentrate more on your work because it's almost like getting your zen on, like it's therapeutic. And it rains almost every day. It's always raining somewhere in Jamaica. So I'm not sure why people don't like it. I guess with, drainage and stuff like that, with the, city upgrade, the country being upgraded, and so it's gonna flood in many areas. So that's the discrepancy I can understand, but it doesn't necessarily flood everywhere. But still, you find a vast majority of people do not like when it rains, but I love it. Now, here's the thing. I want to speak about a particular topic that I saw. I was watching Breakfast Club, right? That's Breakfast Club that's kept in New York, and it's hosted by Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy, and it's just hilarious that's on it now. And so they hosted Damon Dash, and the video went viral because Damon Dash was going back and forth. He was very irritated because he believed he's constantly being interrupted. And he didn't like it. He said that it's a trigger for him. And he said that he watched back previous videos and he wondered why he behaved the way that he did. But he realized that he was constantly being interrupted while speaking. And so he cautioned them. However, he believed that when he asked a question, they should give one answer and they should not expound on the answer because they're interrupting him. And then he would start saying something. He would start saying something. And it's like he should not be posed a question. Nobody should interject. Nobody should say anything because the moment you say something, he interprets that as being interrupted. But then he kept doing the same thing to others. And so they were giving him and then giving him his moment, letting him have it. And he believed that they're trying to trigger him. But I highly doubt it. I believe that, Damon Dash is one of those type of persons who always want to be in the position of a teacher, always want to be the one talking down to people as if they do not know, assuming that they really don't know. And he's in a position because he has dealt with so many persons in corporate America. And he got the bad end of the stick. He got the good end of the stick, which is making money. He got the bad end, which is going through constant litigation, lawsuits, and all these type of things. So he automatically believes that he knows so much about corporation and he knows more than everybody in the room. And he should always be a teacher. He should sit in a position when it comes to an interview, and he should always teach. And a lot of times people simply aren't interested in hearing what you have to say because he has had bad press over the years from his falling out with Jay-Z. He was the one who constantly spoke on it. He was the one who constantly spoke on it for years. We're talking some more than 15 years. He was the one who was constantly speaking on it, constantly going on interviews and talking about it. And so with that, with the child support, with all of these bad press that he was getting, it's almost like people were just tired of him and not really interested in hearing what he has to say. And then he always come in the position of being a boss. I'm a boss and all these type of things. And at the same time, speaking of a boss and you are teaching people, you want to talk down to them at the same time. And it seems as if he have a preconceived notion that they're trying to trigger him. So he's going in there to play the same game while being a teacher. And his game is to give them backhanded insults and thinking that they're not going to pick up on it. You don't know this. You don't know anything about business. You do not know anything. Okay, they don't know. And you're giving the information. But many times people really do not want advice or financial advice from people who are getting money and constantly losing it. That's another thing too. So your reputation have a lot to do with the position that you want to be in of a permanent teacher when it comes to business, when it comes to corporation, when it comes to finance, economy. Sometimes you're just not the teacher. You are just not the teacher for it. And he's not getting that. And he doesn't realize that they aren't interested in him and hear what he really has to say because they know that he came to attack. And so they would turn around and just make a mockery of it. So he began talking down to Charlemagne and saying that he's gay and all of that. Charlemagne say, I believe that you're broke. And it just went on and on where they're constantly having a back and forth. He's talking about if he was in the street, he would have effed him up. That's his word. And Charlemagne is saying that they would have fight. But, he even asked the female, I think she's a co-host or an assistant to Charlemagne, and was asking him, would you want someone like Charlemagne to be your partner? He's not going to defend you. If a guy attack you or many guys attack you, he's going to run. He's going to leave you there and stuff. And that's the topic that I want to speak on. That's the part that was very profound. Well, there were many profound statements that were made in the interview, but that's the one that stuck out like a sore thumb, and that's the one that I really want to speak on. Damon Dash said, does Charlemagne look like the guy that you would want to be your man? He is the type of guy that's going to run because he has done it before. If he gets into an argument with men or with a man, he's going to run. Damon Dash said, I'm the type that you're going to have to beat me because I'm going to beat somebody up. You understand? I might lose, but I want to lose fighting instead of just running and living on and sailing off into the sunset. He's saying that's not manly. It's effeminate. That's not manly of a man to really run, especially when he should be a protector and stuff like that. I'm now paraphrasing, but that's the part I want to expound on. And this is the harsh reality. But there is some truth to his argument. A lot of men who are in a relationship and the relationship have ended and they really can't put their finger on it as to why the female in the relationship, to them, they gave her, everything, whether it be material stuff or his love, his care, his attention and stuff. And he wants to know why she bounced or why she left him. That's the reason. You're just not a protector. You are not a protector. You're not the type of person who will defend her. If something goes wrong, let's say it's not even a physical argument or an altercation or anything like that. You guys could be going out and, an argument ensued between two or even among many. It's a type of guy that's going to want to walk away. It's a type of person that's not going to defend her. It's like the type of individual who probably throw under the bus. And so women look for those type of things in men. And if she thinks that you are not the type of person that's going to protect her when something goes wrong, then she's going to question her reason for wanting to be with you. She's going to question her reason. Now, people are going to say that women cheat, women lie, women this, women do that for all reasons, all sorts of reasons. They're still going to do this. You're perfect and they're still going to do this. But I'm telling you, a lot of women will not say it. I was having this discussion with an ex some times ago, and he asked me the question, if I ever loved him or if I ever cared about him and stuff, which I believe that I was a loving and caring individual because he never spoke to me even after we broke up and we're communicating as friends, that is, as friends, guys. So even while communicating, he has never said that I was a bad partner to him or I wasn't there for him or I wasn't caring or I didn't listen to him or anything like that. He always said that I was a good partner. So when he came and he questioned me and asked me if I ever loved him, I was wondering why he asked the question. But he said to me that when we broke up, I did not have any emotion, like I didn't care. It was like nothing. And I said to him that because you are not the type of person that would protect me. You are just not that type of person. And I'm not the type of person that walks around and put myself in trouble or try to get in any argument with people, especially strangers. I'm not that type of person. But I'm expecting in any setting, the first thing that you are going to be is a protector. In any setting, even if it's family members involved, I'm expecting you to be a protector, to say this, to say that, even if it's to make peace. I'm still expecting you to stand behind me. I'm not expecting you to bounce or I want no part of this. I'm moving on. I'm not going to see you as someone who is a protector. And these are the things that I really said to him. So I was kind of taken aback when I saw the interview and I heard when Damon Dash questioned the female about Charlemagne and saying that women are not necessarily going to want you as their partner because they're not going to consider you even a straight man, because women naturally want a guy who will be there as a protector, whether he's broke or rich. That's the number one thing. Women are going to want to know that you're a protector. So let's say you are rich, but you can't physically protect her. You probably can boss up, you probably can buy your way or pay your way for protection for her. These are things that make women feel as if she is with a real man. But in most cases out there, a lot of men tend to opt out and they tend to say, well, I'm not going to get involved in it. And if anything happened to me, she'll move on with another man or stuff like that. Well, that's why they're moving on with another man while you're alive. And then you're going to wonder because you are just not a protector. You're not a protector. And these are things that make a lot of women rather stay single. Because when you check out so many things that's taking place in the society, a lot of men are anti-family. They are anti-family because if you are pro-family, you are going to think of starting a union that is committed. You are not only thinking about breeding up a woman to make a family or to turn her into a baby mother. You're going to think of being there for the mother as with the child. And this is why a lot of women also, another topic for another day, but I'm going to incorporate it. This is why when many relationships have ended, you find the woman not wanting the man to see the child because in her mind she comes with the child. So if you dump or if you leave or if you end it or if you are doing something that forced, because men usually don't end the relationship, they just drive the woman crazy until the point where she has to end it. You understand? The exceptional stores, guys, so bear with me. But for the most part, it's women who usually end the relationship based on the fact that men are doing a whole lot and they just can't take it anymore. But there are some women out there who will not make a man see the child or want him to see the child. I'm not saying that it's right, but a lot of women, they believe that they come with the child. So if the man has reneged on his promise, did not commit to her, wasn't there for her, or choose not to be there for her, but he wants to see the child, she's not going to allow it because she believes that she offered her body to you to bear your child, got stretch marks on her body, all of that to bear your child. And now you decided that you want to live another life while with her, or you want to live a double life, or you want to not do the things you say you were going to do, which is reneging on the promises that you made. No longer want to get married, no longer want to, do all of these type of things. Or if you were married, then she's in a position wherein she feels as if she needs to file for divorce. You're really, it's really going to mess her up. And so a lot of times women will move on and take the child where you don't get this to see the child because they believe that they come with the child. So when we look into this type of society that we are in right now, what we're in right now, and we look at the pros and we look at the cons outweigh the pro. A lot of persons, like I say, are anti-family, and so they won't begin to think like a protector. As a matter of fact, they weren't raised. They don't know what it is like to protect any woman. In their head, it's only for a fight. It's only for a brawl. It could be a disagreement. You could be out with the person. You understand me? Even if she is utterly wrong or something like that, you don't show up in front of people and try to embarrass her. You understand? And a lot of guys do not know this. So when Damon Dash came out and spoke to the woman and saying that, most women would not want Charlemagne for them, and because he's going to run off, women are going to be turned off. Women do not like that. You could be in a relationship with the person for many, many years, and it would be a glitch. It would be an itch. You're not there for them. And because you're not there for them as a protector, it's just kind of like a turn off. It's like a turn off. See, the thing is that, a lot of people stay in a relationship because the person that they met is who they're still looking for. And sometimes that's not who they are. And they're actually showing you who they are. And if they change from who they actually are, which is negative, who they're going to be oftentimes is worse rather than better. And that's why I always say, when you meet one person, you meet three persons. Who you met, who they actually are, and who they are going to be. And it's very rare all three persons are the same. So these are things that you have to understand while in a relationship, and it was for men. These are traits that you can't deviate from. If it's not you, I'm not saying that all guys should be that, because there are persons like that who do not believe in being a protector. They do not believe in being a protector. I just believe that those type of men should stay single. because it means that, like I did with the documentary a few weeks ago, I believe that they should stay single because there are lots of men out there who do not like responsibility. And being a protector, it comes with responsibility. It's something that you will have to do, providing that you are a man. If you want to be respected as a man and treated as a man, these are the things that you will have to do. You will have to be a protector. It's a part of a virtue. I'm not saying that you have to be this hard, husky, militant soldier. You don't have to be like that. You could very well make a statement, and that's showing signs of a protector. You could very well make a statement. You could very well just say something, and it's a sign that you are actually a protector. You could be saying something that is agreeing or adding to what she has said, and it shows that you are very supportive. You are very supportive. You are there for the individual. And this is what women like. So for those who don't know, now you do. I know a lot of you out there do not care. And I also know that there are lots of women out there who are leaders like myself. I'm not the type of person that is a follower. I'm a student, but I'm not a follower. I'm a student, meaning that I have an interest in learning. I always have an interest in learning because that's how I gain wisdom and more than likely success. So I always have an interest in learning, but I'm not a follower. I make my own decisions as I go along. I will listen, I will respect your thought, but I still will form my own opinion. It can be similar or in agreement to yours, or I can disagree because that's called free will. But I am not a follower. I'm a leader in a relationship. Some persons are going to be leaders, some persons are going to be followers. It has nothing to do with a gender. It was specified to a gender. Persons have their assigned role. There are men out there, like I said, all men are not going to be a protector that's husky, but that doesn't mean that they still aren't a protector. They can be way by words. They can be way through paying for protection. It could be various ways where you can be a protector without having to have that over robust image and appeal and stuff like that, because it's oftentimes people are masking a lot of things when they behave like that. Sometimes that is really not them. But the point I'm trying to make is women are going to like a protector. And for those who don't know, when they talk about the kerosene, I did a whole video on it when Sir P spoke on kerosene. I said throughout history, women will always love protectors. Women always love soldiers. So because soldiers were protectors, they go on the battlefield to protect their land, to protect the king's land, to protect anybody, their family. And because of such, women were always attracted to soldiers. In 2025, there aren't that much soldiers around, and there are people who channel dark energy. And because they channel dark energy, they are going to like the type of gunman type of image, that gunman type of soldier, what we call street soldiers. Women are going to be attracted to it. And so now people calling them the street words of Krasmite, Ebonic, people who are not of worth and stuff like that, because these are people who channel dark energy. Regardless of their socioeconomic background, regardless of their upbringing, they channel dark energy. And so they will like a soldier in quote, but it will be a street soldier. It won't be the one that was trained, because if they go into the military, they enlist in the military, they're going to find out that a lot of these guys have mental problems. And so they would have been rejected. So yeah, that's one of the reasons also. So I'm telling you, throughout history, women have always, throughout history, women have always loved protectors and stuff. And that's why women had loved soldiers back then and kings back then. Powerful, because most kings were what? Soldiers themselves. And so that's what women were always attracted to back then. Yes, a good looking guy counts. His wealth counts. But when he's militant and he's a soldier, if you notice many stories of women married to a king, but they were cheating with the soldier and stuff like that because he was what? A protector. So if you're the type of person that's going to run away from a battle, that you're going to duck out, you're going to hide when there is some sort of disagreement that she's having with someone, it could be anybody, then at the end of the day, she's going to look and be like, who the hell is she with? Who the hell am I with? And this is a harsh reality. I mean, what to do? I mean, you don't have to accept it, but if you didn't know, now you do. A lot of you will say, okay, then I'm not good. You don't have to put yourself in problems for anybody. We're not saying that. But we want to know that there is a partner that you have, and the person is there for you. The person is actually there for you. If it's even an emotional support, it's still a part of protection. It's still a part of protection, but you can't just not be there at all, and then you want to be held to the same esteem or the same degree as another man out there who goes all out to make sure that she's well protected. You just will not be seen in the same light. You won't be seen as someone who is masculine. You're not going to be seen in that light. So if you want to know why a lot of times women end it, I mean, if you don't believe me, go and listen the documentary that's circulating all over social media of Beverly and this in her memoir when she's speaking about her marriage to Michael Manley and she was cheating with DK Duncan. She explained explicitly what DK Duncan represented. He represented a soldier, a bad boy. Well, you put bad boy in quote because, I mean, he wasn't really going around like unaliving people. You understand? He was working with the prime minister. But at the end of the day, she fell in love with him. And to her, it was her only way out because Michael Manley was that type of nice guy. But at the end of the day, he was cheating. He was with a lot of persons. So he wasn't there to offer the protection and the comfort that she really needed. But nobody is playing that part or speaking on it. They're only focusing on the woman who admit that she was cheating with so many persons. She was cheating, with DK Duncan. I'm sorry, I should say so many persons. With DK Duncan. That's the only part that is circulating on social media. But nobody listens to her. She said she always wanted to leave. What's wrong with me tonight? She always wanted to leave. She always wanted to end the marriage. She always wanted to. And she said if it wasn't for DK, she wouldn't have had the strength. She would have stayed. She would not have had the strength. But nobody's listening to all the things that she spoke of. People are only focusing on the fact that, oh, she's a whore. She's this, she's that. She was sleeping around. She's a Jezebel. She's a Krasmite. She's a kerosene. These are the comments. I'm not lying. These are the comments all over in social media that people are actually saying. Not because I'm a Labourite or I'm a supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party. I still have to speak on the truth. And it was the same thing with Beverly Anderson, like I said. Michael Manley was never that type of person who offered that for her. And so she went on and did what she had to do because, I mean, it's easy to sit back and judge. And I noticed that there were more women that are so judgmental than men. And so many women cheat. So many women cheat. So I'm not sure why so many women are coming for her. I think it's hypocrisy because there's so many women who cheat. But at the same time, I can understand. We have to seek to understand. If you're in that position with someone who is that powerful and they are very prolific, you understand, they are philanderer, what are you going to do? You're not getting any comfort. Yes, you can afford nice things. We don't know if he was actually doing all of that either because we don't know. She did not explain the dynamic of the marriage as to how she was being taken care of or anything like that. So we don't know what she was dealing with. And so that's why it's so important to not judge a person, especially when she gave you information as to who the guy actually was, who she was married to. But she said something very profound in her story. She said her mother warned her. Her mother warned her. Her mother asked her, why you want to marry this man who was married so many times? You understand? So when we look into that, we can understand that Manley, like I said, if you want any evidence, that's a prime example of it. When you're not a protector. When you're not a protector. And so, like I said, if a lot of you guys didn't know, now you do know. Remember, not every video that I'm going to do, it's going to bring comfort. But sometimes the truth has to be told. Not all of them are going to bring some sort of comfort that you're going to like, the things that I say, but truth will out. It's not for you. Sometimes the message is not for you. Sometimes you're not ready to hear it. But this is the truth and you have to speak on it. It's like when I used to watch these documentary on these registered offenders and stuff. I used to watch these documentaries and they used to interview these guys. A lot of them doing life in prison. They're not coming out. But when they sit and they tell the story, I had to turn off the TV There's no way I could sit down and watch that. But I was fascinated with it. I was fascinated with these offenders because I had a child and my daughter, was pretty young at the time. And so I had to know how they think and function because I interacted with people. And my child sometimes was there, and I had to know who are these people that my child is in the space of. You understand? And so it was just fascinating to me to watch them. But there came a point where I could not watch the video because the things that these people are admitting to and what they speak of, it makes you not trust anybody. It makes you not trust anybody at all. And it's so evil and sinister. You never know the type of trauma that a lot of persons are dealing with. And you know who most of their victims were? Do you know who most of their victims were? These offenders, most of their victims were boys. That's why I did a video on it, and I said a lot of men are RAPE victims, and that is the reason a lot of them are so violent in nature, but they will not speak about it. I even spoke about Vybz Karter's song when he said, "Sean Star, me not worry about them. Me have me first girl when he was around 10, something like that." I mean, if you're engaged in an activity at the age of 10, he didn't say who the person was, if it was an adult or a child. But if it was an adult, clearly there would be some sort of molestation. I even spoke about a friend that I had who went through these type of things. But not to stray, I'm going off on a tangent, guys. But you get the picture. If you're not a protector, these are things that you're going to be dealt with, okay? You can go and scroll through my video. I have a whole lot of videos on these topics that I've spoken on, okay? So that's what I wanted you guys to know. That's just what I want to speak on tonight. Like I said, it's a beautiful night. It's raining and I love it. I am living for it. But thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. God bless you. Bye-bye.